Alright, this is a quick demonstration of the College of Engineering's OSU Pro People module. Let's start by going to Site Building Modules. What I've got here is a pretty standard Drupal installation. If I uncheck these, you can see I have very few modules enabled right now. The administration menu, features, the main menu, module filter, which just gives me this abbreviated view of the modules page, and vertical tabs, which is just handy on general node pages and things like that. I'm actually going to enable all of the functionality on this site, which involves enabling a feature. So I'll go to Features and click on OSU Pro, and I'm going to enable this OSU Pro OSU People feature. This is actually going to enable a whole bunch of other different modules upon which it depends, although most of the things aren't things that you wouldn't already be using in many Drupal installs. If I go click back here, it shows up. It's showing up as overridden because I had it enabled earlier on this same site. Right. There we go. Now once that's enabled, you'll have a person content type. You'll also have a directory view set up in a particular location, and this little people section here will also show up with options for importing and managing people. Under site configuration, you'll have a couple of different options there as well. Let's start by importing a few people. So I'll go to People and Import, and I've got a list of people here. I've run this with as many as around 110 people and have it work okay. This uses the Drupal batch API, so it has a nice little progress bar if your server supports that. If someone already exists, they don't get duplicated. If a person didn't exist already, they get imported. If there's some kind of problem, like the OSU Pro XML feed doesn't validate or it's missing, it'll record some sort of error message here. So I can also now go to manage the people, and we'll see I've got a bunch of different people in this install now. This is just a little interface that uses views bulk operations to perform lots of operations all at once. So you can unpublish a bunch of people, delete a bunch of people, perhaps my favorite, modify taxonomy terms. In addition to that administrative utility, there's also a view which can be customized. If I click on somebody like McNamara, you're not going to see much of anything here. This is because it's just using a standard node view. If we want to pull in some of the theming functions that are implemented as part of these modules, we have to add that to our node person theme. So I'll do that really quickly. Go over here. Well, since I'm using Garland, I'll just be bad and hack the Garland theme a little bit. make a copy of the node file, then modify it. So I'll just look for the content region here and comment that out and just put in a call to the main theming function. There may actually be a better way to do these theming functions, but I don't know it myself. I'll flush all caches. And we have a whole bunch more information. And it's pulling in all of our OSU Pro data. So we've got an address up here, a biographical narrative here, and then these little unstyled tabs. So we have education, experience, honors, journal articles, conference papers, books. In theory, it's importing a lot more information. I haven't tested it with every single possibility, like art collections and things like that, since we're engineering. Now, it still doesn't look particularly good right here. So we've actually made these vertical tabs. We try not to add styles into our modules anymore, just to make it easier to style everything in the theme. I'm going to go back to the modules page and enable something called CSS Injector, which is an easy way to hack CSS into your Drupal sites without modifying the theme. Now, see CSS Injector right here. So I'm going to copy and paste some of the CSS in our theme into this site, and normally you would put this kind of code in your own theme. And now you can see these are styled a little bit nicer. And that is pretty much the OSU Pro integration. You can do things. One other neat feature is that you can create vocabularies on your people just like you would normally. So if I create a vocabulary called research focus and add terms like data analysis and basket weaving, I can then go to the OSU people configuration page, and here I have a couple different options. I can change the view that powers the directory we showed earlier, like this view, and I have a couple different options here to allow me to potentially customize this view without changing it. So if I click on detail, I have to save this first, I guess. If I click on detail now, I have a whole bunch of different options. A few of these haven't been coded yet. Like you'll notice this templates by person type. I only have one template implemented anywhere. The idea here is I might eventually implement different theme templates for staff versus faculty. So a staff might have a really short abbreviated profile, whereas a faculty member might have a humongous profile, because no one cares about us staff. I can choose whether or not to display this Powered by OSU Pro logo. In the directory view here, I can enable different filters that are exposed. So if I want to have a search filter, I can make it available on first. I can also choose whether or not to show this research focus. I'll make it second. In addition, on the profile pages, I can make it show the taxonomies or not show the taxonomies. So I just enabled two filters here. So I've got a search and a research focus. None of the search cron job hasn't run, so nothing's indexed yet, and I haven't actually assigned any taxonomies categories to people, so no one has anything here. But it's a pretty handy feature. If we go and look at somebody like Dr. Fossler-Lucier, he doesn't have any taxonomies yet, but we can go and add one really quickly. Give him data analysis. Now if we select data analysis, Dr. Fossler-Lucier will show up, but it still doesn't show his research category here. If we go back to the settings page, we can actually enable individual taxonomies to show up on the individual's profile page. So it's showing up right there. Another handy feature. So you can build a fully functioning directory very quickly using these modules. Something that's kind of cool that a lot of people probably haven't seen before is we added the image crop image CCK field to our person type. So I can just select an image like this one and upload it, and then I can crop it right inside the browser, and this forces an aspect ratio of 3:4, I believe. And I think this is not showing up just because that picture is something else that's we've coded in our theme, but I apparently haven't accounted for in that one line function, which was mostly just to bring in this OSU Pro data. So